Owner is keeping our credit card tips and might give them out as bonuses. So my coworkers and I found out recently that our franchise has started accepting credit card tips. After a rough estimate, we've earned probably about $300 plus in CC tips in the past 2 months. But we've yet to see any of the money. When our manager confronted the owner about the tips, he wanted to know why we were asking about his money. After a brief heated discussion, the owner told the manager that he might give out the tips as bonuses starting next quarter. Next quarter doesn't start until January. So this man is basically claiming the tips that we have earned and might give them to us next year. The entire store is furious that this is how we will be getting our tips, if at all. To top it all off, there's also the possibility the people who work less hours will be getting more of the tips than the people who work more hours in order to keep them motivated to come back to work. I'm sorry, but what sense does that make? I work for the Department of Labor. There are a few things to consider. This goes for anyone who reads this, not just Op. 1. Do you make at least minimum wage an hour, or does the owner claim a tip credit? This is important because if you make at least minimum wage, the tips may be unenforceable. This is because there are federal court findings that are in appeals right now stating if the employee is paid at least minimum wage, the business can keep tips. In some scenarios, since a federal judge made the decision that makes it federal law, it's not as simple as just the FLSA or Federal Code of Regulations. Enforcement is always in flux. 2. Are the tips tied directly to someone's work, or are they just an add-on to the order when a customer checks out? Tips are defined as being given to a tipped employee for their work. Depending how they are given, there is an argument to be made either way. I obviously don't have a full picture, so I cannot say one way or the other. 3. Do not contact the NLRB. This is not what they do. You would be looking for the wage and hour division if you were interested. 4. You cannot pursue both a lawyer and a case with us at wage and hour at the same time. We cannot be pursuing the same money from 2 different avenues at the same time. Finally, for anyone else who reads this, stop saying report wage theft to the labor board. That is not what they do. Look for the wage and hour division. You can call the main line to speak to someone. We have investigators on phone duty to answer questions and file complaints if the information fits. You need to report this to your state labor bureau. If you live in the U.S., figure out who you file wage theft claims with and get the process started. Managers are only allowed to accept tips directly from customers for services they personally provided, and only if they were the only person involved in providing that service. Everything else is theft. https www.dol.gov/agencies/whd/FELSA/tips. NLRB and lawyer. Don't talk to the owner or manager. Don't warn manager or owner. Just talk to labor board and lawyer. Report it and all of you can go on strike. Or report it to the news. Report this. See if it's technically allowed based on your hourly wage and state laws. Even if it's technically legal, I'd start a riot and encourage everyone to walk out. Your boss is an ass. Oh, and tell customers, please do not feel obligated to leave a tip. We don't get them. The owner keeps them. Please name company so people don't tip owners. Wait until he hits $1,000 in tips, now it becomes a felony theft case. Tell the customers, hell hath no fury like if I ever found out an owner kept the top I gave to my server. Say it with me now everyone, that is wage theft and illegal. Make sure customers are aware of the owner's actions and have them spread this info to as many people as possible. Ask them to not post about it in online reviews, as that might come back to bite you if the owner reads the reviews. Once word spreads, bookings will crater. At that point, everyone should begin applying for jobs at other restaurants. Once everyone has secured positions at other establishments, you should all quit, leaving him with no staff to run the restaurant, and, given that his name will be mud by then, the chances of him hiring anyone else will be practically zero. Report them yesterday. Flat illegal in the US. And this is why people should leave cash tips. Although, tipping should be stopped, and workers given a decent pay raise. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, so yeah, leave cash tips. Report the owner. Keeping employees' tips is illegal. Or so I thought. Remind customers not to give tips because it's not going to you, the server, but greedy management. Hashtag this is wage theft. Contact NLRB, your state doll, and a lawyer. That is highly illegal everywhere in the US. This is highly illegal. This is why I always tip in cash to the server who had my table. I guarantee they get the tip and not someone else. Which is one reason I try to tip in cash. The solution here is to tell the customers where the tips go.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.